So this is an entirely English Civil War. Well, we call it the English Civil War, but it's actually a British Civil War because Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and of course England were involved in it. But for some reason we call it the English Civil War, which our friends in Wales and Scotland, Ireland get rightly so quite annoyed about, because it wasn't really that, and was it really a civil war either? It was basically between two sets of landed gentry running the calling the shots. So it's also argued that it was a British Revolution, whereas the on the continent had their revolutions in the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. We had ours in the 16th century. But was it really a revolution? More a case of fighting against the king, or for the king, getting rid of the king, having a parliament ruled country for a little while, and then getting fed up with that and allowing the king's son to come home and let us celebrate Christmas and have mince pies again. But I digress. It is a period that is very fascinating to me, because I did that when I was between 16 and 18, when you do the Tudors and Stuarts as your qualification in history. But anyway, these are the arms, Cromwell's cavalry. I do like this set, the very nice sculpts, and another nice addition for the officer figure on the black horse here. Because there's only, well, the arms you get are the bugle, the banner, guy firing a matchlock, do we call it a pistol, and a guy firing the carbine, and the arm waving his sword in the air. So I nicked a sword arm from another set to put on the officer here on the black horse, so he's got his sword resting on his shoulder, just to make it a little bit different. So a lot of these sets that you get, particularly the hat ones, come with spare arms, so I'll put them in my bits box that everybody has, and they come in useful from time to time to do things like that. I know there's some that do bugles as well, so I've got spare bugle arms from this set, which I've been using on the Revel Imperial Cavalry or Revel Swedish Cavalry, just to throw that into the mix with those as well. So you can mix and match. They're not necessarily exactly the right size, but you know, at this scale, would you notice? Let's see if I can just zoom in a little bit. So let me just show you them from the side and the rear. Okay, so sidewards view. I'm using a tripod at the moment just to keep this camera steady. Done blue blankets on the back of the horses. And the camera's auto-focusing as well, which is quite useful. Right, so that's the side-on view. I'll just show you them from the rear. So there we go, rear angle. I do like the pose with the guy with his sword in there. They're all nice poses, actually, to be fair. Of course, if I'd thought about it, I could have got enough boxes to do these guys firing the carbines as dragoons, maybe. But yeah, it's quite nice that some of them are fully armoured as well. So you could get a lot of sets and do a bit more variety with these, but I just did these as they came out of the box this time. There you go. So that's the Cromwell's cavalry. And I finally got round to finishing these yesterday evening, in fact. So these, just to remind you, are the Zvezda Austrian pike and musket set from just after the Civil War era, but exactly the same uniforms, weaponry. I do like the drummer and the guy with the flag and the officer, very nice. And you get a nice lot of pike in this set as well. When you're doing the pike, what I always do is make sure that they're lined up on the bases so that they're not poking each other in the back, so they're slightly to the side of the rank in front or behind as you have it, just so that they actually fit together in a block. I'm sure you all do that, but I just thought I'd point it out that, yeah, that's how I usually set them out. Same as if I'm doing firing figures, so they're not firing into the backs of people's heads, they're actually firing over the shoulder. Really did enjoy doing this set, they're really nice, and I must get lots more of them. I have done them this time with the feathers in the hats, because this is Thomas Fairfax's regiment, so they'd be a bit more fancy. All the musket poses are very good too. I do like the guys priming their firing pans. So a very good set to do this. Let me just move along a little bit. And of course, with the fact that they come with arms that you have to put on, means you can do a bit of a variation there. Very simple to paint, particularly if you're all doing them all in one colour, and some variety with the headgear as well. But yeah, very nice set, and as I say, I must get more of these because these should be the go-to set, I think, for Civil War. I'll just compare them to the Revel set. Let me just put these guys behind here or in front. Let's put them in front. So they don't exactly tower over the Revel guys, do they? So they fit in quite nicely. They are slightly smaller, but really not by that much. So they'll fit together. As for minifigs, that might be a different story altogether. Let's have a look. Just compare some pikemen here. You see the minifigs are much bigger, aren't they? Much bulkier. But again, you know, they're going to be in different units across a table, so you're not going to notice that much, are you? Okay, let me just do some rear shots. So here we go from behind. So they've got full cuirasses on. Call them cuirasses. I do like the fact that you just get a plain flag, so you can put a transfer or paper on there or just paint it. And of course I chose Fairfax's because they just have a plain green flag with no stars on it. There's the command flag, so helpful. Yeah, there you go. Love the little well, we'll call them bandoliers, but basically what they've got round their shoulders are what they call the 12 apostles, so they'll have 12 of those charges for 12 rounds. Yep, there you go. So thanks for watching. Any feedback is always welcome. And sorry I haven't been doing so many videos recently, but I've just been very busy in the evenings doing other things, but I need to get back into this a bit more, which I will be doing. Okay, I was also, what I wanted to do in future was, rather than have, you know, a real mixture of the periods that I'll just do an episode or a video on either one set or 2 or 3 sets from the same period, just to sort of thin them out a bit more, because you're jumping from Napoleonics and American Civil War, Dark Ages, English Civil War, mixing them up. It's all well and good, but I'm trying to separate them out in future, so that if you're just into English Civil War, then fine, I'll just watch those ones. If you like Napoleonics, watch those. If you like American Civil War, watch those. Okay, thanks for watching, and if I don't, well, I should make one before, at least one before Salute, but that's the big one that's coming up in April, so I'll see you there if you're there. Okay, bye.